Hey, welcome everybody. We just did quick introductions here, but if you're joining us now, this is our overview for our spring campaign for Health Moves Minds. My name is Jamie Sparks. I serve as Kentucky Shape's Executive Director. I'm glad to be joined with our other presenters, facilitators tonight, Ms. Angela Stark and Katie Embry, who serve as our Health Moves Minds co-coordinators. So we're excited to share some awesome incentives. Health Moves Minds always has awesome incentives, but we like to follow the theme of Health Moves Minds. And this spring, we're going to amplify some options with Health Moves Minds through Kentucky Shape. So there's some things that are always available from Health Moves Minds, and there are some things that are additional incentives that we're providing as the board for Kentucky Shape, and some things that are going to happen. So excited to share those things with you, and then we'll turn this over to Katie and Angela for some deeper insights into how you can bring this to your school. So as we look at Health Moves Minds, we launched a campaign period on February 15th, and that goes through April 15th. The reason it only goes through April 15th, that gives us a little over 6 weeks right now, but we know that there's resources, and we're going to take you through how you do an event in 5 weeks or less. The reason April 15th has to be the deadline is because we're giving away one of the coolest things ever, and that's a jump rope assembly from Nick Woodard with Learning the Ropes. So he's performed at NBA halftime shows. He's performed at Shape America. He's a world jump roping champion. He's been to Kentucky Shape on multiple occasions, and we're excited to bring him to 3 schools in Kentucky for the school jump rope assembly. So in order to get those scheduled, we had to have a deadline that gives him time to get scheduled in between now and the end of the school year. So if people ask why April 15th, that's why April 15th has to be the date. So for $500 this spring, schools that earn at least $500 will get free membership to Kentucky Shape. That's $35. They'll get free convention registration. The regular price of convention is $200. And you also get a Health Moves Minds banner from Shape America. A number of people on the screen and presenting tonight have those banners hanging in their school. So that's what you get for $500. Plus you get the normal 50%, 10% bonus back in Gopher gift cards. So all of that happens at just $500. So if you add that up, you're almost getting 100% back. Show me another fundraiser in Kentucky that you're doing that for. Let me tell you, it doesn't exist. It's not out there. So the more you raise, the more you get back. But just at that $500 level, that's how it's changing the game. Of course, the more you go up, there's other things. We add in a polo shirt at $2,000, free Shape America membership above $2,000. And again, you're getting that higher percent back. Plus, for every $500 you earn, you get one chance for Nick Woodard to come to your school. So we're giving away 3. The top 2 overall schools that earn the most, they get Nick Woodard. For the third one, we're going to raffle it off, and you earn one chance for every $500 your school raises. So we didn't want to cut anybody off. So if we get the top 2 schools that earn $4,000 or $5,000, you earn $2,000. You're getting 4 chances on that raffle against all the other schools that earn at least $500. So we'll recap that in just a minute, but that's how that's working this spring through April 15th. That's how the money breaks down. Angela will go more in depth in this in just a second. You do always have an option with Health Moves Minds. If your school, like most PE programs, you need the money, then that's called option 1. You take the 50% back that you get back in gift cards from Gopher, and the Gopher will match it a 10% bonus on that 50%. So there's some examples of what that looks like. That alone is better than the majority of fundraisers that are out there. When you look at candles, when you look at other nonprofits that are hosting things that are out there, your school is not getting anywhere close to that back as far as percent. The other thing that's really nice, and you'll hear Angela and Katie talk about this, is you get so much back, you can set a specific goal of what you want to earn. Katie has a great example. First year, her school goal was a climbing wall. They were able to do that in the school that she was at. So you're getting such a percent back, because people always say, where's the money go? It comes back to your kids and your program. There's a breakdown of where the rest of the funds go as far as back to Shape America, back to Kentucky Shape, and doing the work that we do to support health and PE teachers. So I always like to summarize it this way. Health Moves Minds is the only program on the planet that you can do in your school that gives you the most money back while also supporting your state and national organization. That's it. There's nothing else there like it. And so that's an example of the power of Health Moves Minds. Carly and Lane, I know we have new people on here. Let me also start by saying it has free SEL curriculum, no strings attached. You do not have to do a fundraiser. Today, you can log in and get all the free SEL curriculum for your school, share it with other teachers. Absolutely no strings attached. The fundraising is just an awesome fundraising on top of the free social emotional learning lessons that can be done in health and PE class. So always like to be clear on that as well. Option 2, for some schools, and we have about 50-50, I think, looking at the number in Kentucky, you can do option 2, which you can choose a local nonprofit. So if your school, you got a good cause or whatever things that are happening in your school community, you can give your money to the American Lung Association, the American Heart Association, the Cancer Society. You can pick a local food pantry. If they're a 501c3, then you can split the money that you're getting back with that local nonprofit. If your PTO is a registered 501c3, your parent-teacher organization or your PTA, you can split that money with them. That gives you more flexibility in how you use your money. So lots of options on how that money comes back to you and your school, but it is nice that it is protected in a lot of ways for health and PE and wellness programs. But there's certainly other things that go for that can be ordered as well. And we're glad to answer those questions more in depth if you're interested. As I said, you see the screen behind me, you see the screen on the screen. That is our summer conference, June 14th through the 16th. We'll do early bird prices, and then starting in about May, the price will be $200 for a 3-day conference. Any school in Kentucky that raises $500 gets that cost waived. You get it free. So that's an awesome incentive on top of the money you're getting back. So just those two things alone bring you close to about 85-90% of your dollars just at $500. So pretty easy to do and lots of things coming back. Take that to your principal and say, show me another program that does that. We also mentioned Nick Woodard. So I'll really quickly let Nick take the stage here and show you just a little piece of what his program looks like. And you guys give me thumbs up because not everybody's seeing your face, but just make sure the sound's coming there.
Are you ready for a show?
So there's an example of Nick's program. Kaylee's also in there. She works at Western Kentucky. Nick's committed to 3 shows. I don't know who else he may bring with him. It depends on the dates. But I can tell you as a teacher, as a student, I've sat through a lot of really boring school assemblies. This is not one of them. So going to be some really excited students across Kentucky to get to see this. And so we're really excited to work with Nick and Kaylee again. And again, he's been in Cirque du Soleil and other things. So great stuff that he's doing. We're really excited to partner with him this spring and bring him to 3 schools. So to recap, $500 gets you $275 back in a gift card from Gopher, $235 with membership and registration to Kentucky Shape, a banner, and 1 chance at that school assembly raffle. So again, that just amplifies as the more you go up, but just a good straight visual of what you're talking about, really low to achieve goal. So that's where we want to start schools at. And again, Katie, Chad will tell you, once you get it started, you start with low goal, but what you're doing and how you're doing it, it'll amplify really quickly. And that's what happens with so many of our teachers and programs. They just get it started, take a chance at it, and it goes exponentially better than what they were anticipating, just because the students get behind it so much with some of the creative things you can do to bring it to your school. We're going to walk you through any questions that you have, getting you officially signed up and registered to do that. And then again, there's a really simple plan that we can follow as far as a 5-week or less implementation program. So there was an example. I think that was a tweet last year. So there you see kind of a summary of some of the big schools across the country. Every school that did it's on the list. That kind of word wall that was there. There you see Scapa, which was Angela's school that she still helps to oversee. I see Briarwood on there. That's one of Katie's from Warren County. I mean, I'm looking at the big Lincoln Trail. There's Chad at the top, man. So kudos to Chad being up top there. And then some of those schools, what were the top schools? I know Twin Chimneys and Plank. They're like 20,000, right? Crazy money.
Twin Chimneys was close to 20, and Twin Chimneys was 15,000 last year.
Gotcha. Can you imagine getting a check, a gift card for $7,500, $10,000 to order PE equipment? That's some cool stuff.
It's like you won the lottery.
Yeah, I'd like to see that PE closet.
Yes.
There's just a shout out to Patrick Kennedy. He was our teacher of the year before. Is he before you or after you, Chad? After you. You're 2 years ago, right? And he's this past year.
Yeah, I was 1920, and then I think 2021 we didn't have one because of COVID.
That's right. And then Patrick this past year. So we got our teachers of the year doing some great things with this program. Great champions. We appreciate Chad being on there again. SHAPE does a great job of giving shout outs to schools. Kentucky's done really well in this program. Angela mentioned Missouri earlier. Now that we're live on YouTube, I won't be too salty with Missouri, but they have taken us in total amount of funds raised, where our goal is to both take them in funds raised and number of schools doing it. So our board has some big goals around how many schools are going to be implementing the program. We like to win, and that's what we're all about. So we want to get you involved, and we want to have bragging rights, and we want to work hard and not just to win, but because it benefits kids, and we can have fun doing it. But at the end of the day, it's really the impact it brings in schools and for students in different communities and stuff around the state. Hey. Chad, you've done an event more recently. You want to give just a quick reflection? I know you didn't necessarily prepare for that, but you are one of our more recent folks that have completed an event.
Sure. Yeah, Jamie, it was, we started, I think, online donations February 13th. And then kind of went through March 1st, accepting those. And we basically did a move-a-thon in PE class, and we just doubled up classes 2 days. That way they didn't have to affect their regular ed rotations and things like that. Stayed in touch with Angela all throughout, and just, on the times where it was kind of like, oh, hey, we're not making a whole lot of progress here. I was like, what's something we can do? And then she gave me some good ideas. One of them was like a 48-hour blitz. Hey, can we raise this much money in this amount of time to get, just another incentive that we didn't maybe initially have there. Something that I've seen work both years really well is somehow reward the kids daily. Like find the 5 or 6 that got on and raised some funds last night. And I set one for like $10. If they raised $10, they got a slap bracelet or a color changing pencil or just these other bracelets that we already had in our PE rewards system.
Yep.
So that got some kids going and got them in there, and then other kids seeing them get those things, then it kind of motivated them. And I will say one thing for we're getting ready to some schools be out, and maybe if you do have NTI. Last year when we were on NTI, I started messaging these kindergarten classes saying, hey, congratulations to this kid, they just raised $100. And then the next thing you knew in 5 minutes, a parent was getting on and donating $100 for their kid too. So they get competitive within their homerooms and things like that. So
awesome.
Other than that, that's kind of a summation of what went on. But I was tickled. We didn't meet our school goal, but I had forgotten about the 10% matching thing. And we set a goal to get some scooter boards this year. And with the 10% matching, we ended up having enough to be able to buy those. And I think we're going to have a little bit more to buy some other things as well. So it was really nice.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Chad. Appreciate that. Angela, I'll turn it over to you and Katie.
Okay. Yeah, Chad, thank you. Cause I was just looking today how much money you all raised, and you were really close to your school goal, I believe. Just not quite there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was pretty close. And I set it a little bit higher this year, and maybe I, could have gone up a little bit, but it's all good.
That's all right. Money's money, more than you had before. All right. Katie, you want me to go ahead and start sharing our website and just go through step by step? So, Health Moves Minds, like Jamie said, has a curriculum part, but we're focused today on the fundraiser element of it. So we're going to go over step by step what you would need to do between now and April 15th to rock a fundraiser. Super simple to complete in that amount of time. So this website isn't fully complete. We're going to try to rock it out, finish it tomorrow, but it's going to give you all the basic things that you would need. So has a general overview of what is Health Moves Minds. It's the whole reason Shape America made Health Moves Minds is to create happier, healthier students. So the theme of Health Moves Minds is kindness and mindfulness. So it's just amazing. So how does it work? We're going to go over each step. Get approval. Step 1, by your admin. Get registered on healthmovesminds.org website. Then we're going to plan your event. Then we're going to communicate with our families, do a kickoff, host your event, and then wrap up and celebrate. So if we go through step 1, and we'll put this in the, before you leave today, we'll put it in the chat so you have this and you can go directly there. First, you want to figure out what date or week that you want to do your event. Okay. If you click on this link right here, it's going to take you to an approval, like tips and tricks to talk to your administrator type letter, and maybe your PTA, whoever you need to get approval from. And then you're going to register your school right here. All right. So that's the first step. Step 2, we're going to plan our event. And you just saw this. Jamie showed you option 1, option 2. How are you going to do your event? If you do choose option 2, there is a charity form that you have to fill out. It's super simple. It just is basically sending Shape America who your contact is for that charity, and making sure that they're a 501c3. That's it. So once you've done that, you want to decide on a goal. How long are you going to fundraise? I like to fundraise for 2 weeks. I know, I think Chad, you did about 2 weeks. I have people who like to fundraise a whole month. So you choose what you want to do. And then choose what your celebratory event will be at the end. Step 3 would be communication. How are you going to tell parents you're doing this? And then how are you going to kick it off with a video, just an email, social media blast to your families, you know, what assembly, what's it going to look like? And then step 4 is hosting an event. And we'll talk about that more in just a minute. And then step 5 would be wrapping up, sending in the money, thanking your donors, your sponsors, submitting any offline donations to Shape America. And then in 2 to 4 weeks, Shape America will actually send you your banner and your also all the shirts. If any of your students raise $50 online or $50, they get a t-shirt, a kindness t-shirt from Shape America. So I just went over that quick, Katie and Jamie. Do we want to go? Well, let me, I have one more thing I want to share with you before we go on to the next thing. If I can get rid of this. I want to show you this. So like Katie and I have done this. I've done it 4 times now. Katie's done it 3. This is how our breakdown of our funds has looked. And you can see how we've kept money for our schools, especially in year 1. And then the last 2 years, we both did a charity. So my charity at my school, 1 year was Nourish Lexington, and 1 year it was my PTA, because then, like Jamie said, funds were flexible, and we're raising money for a playground. So we didn't just have to buy from Gopher, but we could choose any other vendor we wanted. And you'll notice Katie actually did hers to American Heart Association, because she has done prior to Health Moves Minds done her event with Kids Heart Challenge. So she just changed how it looked.
Awesome.
Katie?
And Katie, I will point out that you are. You there? Sorry, my screen disappeared. I will point out you're the number 1 until Angela beat you last year, and technically she wasn't in the school, so you technically are still number 1 of being in the actual school. Is that a fair assessment of the results, Katie?
That's fine, Jamie. I'll take it. Yes.
But I will say that first year she rocked it, because she literally was like, I don't know if I can raise $1,000. I'll just try it. And then they raised 8,000. So truly amazing. Katie, do you want to go ahead and do we want to talk about what that event might look like for your school? Like, what is something that we can do? Like, if we maybe done jumping rope or something like that before, what could we do instead?
Yeah.
Or could we still do that?
Yeah. I mean, and that's what's cool about the program, is that you can cater it to the needs of what you need. And so, but prior, the first time I did this, the 9 years prior, I had done the Kids Heart Challenge with the American Heart Association, which is a great program. But it was a whole bunch of work, and I was so tired of not getting any of the money back that my kids worked for. And also, you know, I was tired of the more I made, the less I received in return. And so I decided to kind of just try something different and not really know where the pieces were going to fall or what they were going to land on. And we actually set a goal my first year for $5,000 to raise as a school. And it was incredible to watch, just like the breath of fresh air that came over my families and came over our students, and just like the whole culture was pumped to try to get a rock wall and a climbing wall for the school. And I said, well, if we can get 5,000, if we get 50% of that, then maybe our PTA can help get us a panel extra, and we'll just work our way over the years. And we ended up raising enough money to buy the whole dang thing. And I had $600 left over to play with, which before that I had $100 in my PE budget, which I like to joke would buy 1 scooter wheel. But it's just amazing to watch. And then Jamie likes to take credit for moving me across the state and dropping me in Bowling Green, Kentucky, here in Warren County. And even though I am no longer in a physical education role, I'm still going to work every day and doing what's best for kids. So But as far as event goes, I mean, I ran it basically the exact same that first year as what I had done the 9 years prior. I had a family event like we would do, bring the family, celebrate, go through some stations, a lot of jumping, a lot of things that were familiar. I didn't really change everything. I kind of went with what we already knew and what we expected. We just raised money a little differently and for a different, like, to come straight to our program. And then COVID, 2020, we weren't able to have people in the gym. So I did more of like an online family, just, hey, see if you can check these 10 boxes with your family and your friends, and kind of a campaign that way. And so as far as events goes, you can do family night. You can, like Chad did, what'd you do? A move-a-thon, and Angela's done Olympics, and there's just so many different things that you can do. Like, if you have a wild idea, go do it. And what's cool is that the program allows you to kind of do that.
So thanks, Katie. I've also did a jogathon. So a lot of people do walkathon, jogathon with a variety of fundraising companies. And I just ran it on my own, got stickers made that had little boxes on them. And every time the kids ran around a lap, we marked off a box, and they just got flat donations. So speaking of donations, how do you raise the money? You basically have your own specific link when you sign up. And then you send that to your families. I actually create a bit.ly of my link because I think it's way easier to send it out to families. And then they join your team, your school team. So you can do just online, which I like to do just online. But you also have the offline option to use an Excel spreadsheet that Shape America gives you to record them, and you can mesh them and do both. So it's super, super easy. When the families join online, they can send it out. They can connect to Facebook, but they can also send it out on an email to friends and families, that type of thing too.
Awesome. Thanks, Angela. I'm really quickly, for the sake of this, we'll start a more conversational piece of this, but I just want to quickly put both of your contact for folks that may be watching this on YouTube later on. There's Angela's contact, Katie's contact is there on the screen. So if you have questions, want to connect, please reach out to them. You also can go to the KYSHAPE.org and check that out as well. So for the purposes of the webinar and what's going on YouTube, I will stop the recording now and thank everybody for joining us. I got to remember where the record button's at now. Thanks, everybody.